Welcome to the Twinkl Talks EYFS podcast. Working in the early years is busy, funny, messy, and exhausting. Join me, Shana, and the rest of the Twinkl EYFS team as we talk honestly about our experiences as practitioners, teachers, and professional nappy changers. Whether you're listening to increase your CPD hours or catching up on our antics whilst driving home from work, Twinkl EYFS will share everything you need to know about all things early years. Hello! Thank you so much for listening. This is the official Twinkl Talks EYFS podcast. My name is Shana and I'm going to be your host for every episode. I'm so excited to start this podcasting journey with you and so grateful that you're here. Now, the reason we set up this podcast is to give a little insight into what we do for Twinkl as a company and also to give back. So we're going to be sharing some CPD, we're going to be talking about the latest hot topics, we're going to be sharing top tips, and we're going to throw in a cheeky and funny story from our own experiences here and there. So for the first episode, we thought it would be really great if we could introduce the Twinkl team to you, so you get to know the voices behind the posts on social media. So for today's episode, I have interviewed some of my wonderful colleagues in the marketing team so you can get to know them. Another great way we're kicking off this podcast is with a giveaway. Everybody loves a giveaway, right? So if you don't know about it already, head to our social media sites where the giveaway is being hosted. What you have to do is you have to listen to the end of this episode where I will reveal 2 emojis that you have to post on our social media platforms. And if you do that, you'll be thrown into a draw to win a set of headsets to listen to our future podcasts. How cool is that? So without further ado, we're going to meet the team, listen right to the end so you can get into that giveaway. Here we go. Okay, so it's time to introduce you to the team. Say hi, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome.
It's really good for everyone to hear your voices. So I thought it would be really nice for everyone to introduce themselves. So if we start off by saying our name, our role at Twinkl, and our experience in the EYFS. So Alicia, would you like to start us off?
Hello. So my name is Alicia. I am a marketing assistant for the EYFS segment at Twinkl. I graduated from Nottingham Trent University in early years and special and inclusive education. Completed my dissertation on communication strategies, learned in the early years sector with children with autism. And then I worked as a supply teacher in various earlier settings and also as an SCNTA as well.
Amazing.
Ooh,
So lots of experience. Yeah. Right. Claire, what about you?
Hi. So I'm Claire, and I'm also an early years marketing assistant. I feel like there's a theme coming on here, everybody. But I've been at Twinkl for about 3 years now. I was just a marketing assistant for the brand team before, but then came over to early years, which has been really lovely. So at the minute, I also work as head of EYFS in an independent school and nursery with my amazing team. It's been so nice. So we've been really gearing up our child-led approach since the new framework changes come in, and it's been nice to be able to share that with all of you guys here and our communities online as well.
Amazing. I'm so lucky to have you, Claire. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Katie.
Hello, so my name's Katie and I am the private nurseries manager. So I'm still part of the early years team, but I just focus on the private side with charity run preschools, day nurseries, all of that kind of thing. I am primary teacher trained initially, then I went into the private sector and I've recently completed my master's degree and I've done almost all of the roles you can do in a private nursery, from key person to toilet cleaner to chef to safeguarding lead to manager.
Amazing. Jack of all trades you are.
Exactly.
And Lauren.
So my name's Lauren and I work as a segment manager over at Twinkl, and I focus on the schools-based EYFS sort of setting. So school-based nurseries, school-based reception classes. I've taught early years for around 16 years. I've worked in nursery classes, I've worked in reception classes, I've done a little bit of work over in the private sector. Last year, I did dabble with a mixed class. I've got a bit of experience with mixed reception, mixed year one, and just a real passion for outdoor learning. I love it.
Wow. Can I just say that I feel like we have all of the knowledge we could possibly have. We're so lucky to have this team. Like, we all have so many good skills. Well done, guys. Like, we can cover it
Great
all.
team.
Yeah.
And what about you, Shana? Tell us about you.
Go on. Okay. What about me? So, obviously, my name is Shana, and I'm going to be your podcast host. Very exciting. Sorry in advance. No, joking. So, I am also an early years marketer at Twinkl. And before I came here, I have been an early years teacher for 10 years. 8 years officially. But before that, I did my degree in linguistics. So I have a kind of real passion for speech and language and communication and things like that, EAL children and things. So I did that first. And then I trained to be a teacher. And yeah, I've worked in nursery, reception. I've also supplied as well, supplied all the way up to year 6.
Oh, wow. You're brave.
Yeah, I know. I loved it. Great kids. Early years is my thing, though. So
Totally agree.
I came back.
Oh yeah, I feel
Yeah.
you. I've been there.
Right. It's why we're all here, right?
In every year group, but then you always come back.
Agreed.
To early years, can't keep away.
Of course. Yeah, that's me really. So, I was wondering, guys, if you would like to share some fun things about yourselves, because we're a fun team. This is a fun podcast. So I've got some questions for you. Okay, we're going to take it one at a time, and I'm going to ask you first.
Shana, your inner teacher came out then.
Oh no.
I'm going to ask you one at a time. If you could put your hands up, please.
Yeah.
Oh darn. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh God. Good start. Okay, so question 1. What is your favourite topic to teach?
I like anything with glitter in.
Oh.
Anything festivals, cultural celebrations, bonfire.
Ooh, there's so many. So many in
Yeah, I
early
think it's because
years.
it's all like Christmassy, autumn termy, November. That's when my birthday is. So I think I just get excited about that time of year.
Oh, I think I'm with you on the glitter, although just any craft. Give me a craft any day. I love it.
The glitter queen.
And not too differently, but I love anything to do with nursery rhymes, because even though I really can't sing, it's really horrible. And to be honest, it's probably not fair on the children for me to sing as often as I do. But there's just something great about sitting together, whether they're babies, preschool, and they all join in with the actions, whether it's just a word or the whole song, and like all the different events you can do it for. I just love it so much.
That's really sweet. And you will have to prove on another podcast episode this singing skill that you say you don't have. So just
Okay, that's
heads
not
up.
fair on a lot of people, but okay.
Oh, mine sounds really boring now in comparison to your guys with your glitter and your crafts. But I love phonics. I'm
Oh,
a bit of a phonics geek over here. So I just love it. I think you can really see when it clicks with the children, and then they just fly, don't they? So yeah, phonics for me over here.
see, for me, I feel like this question has gone in a different direction than I thought. My favourite topic to teach is space.
Cool.
I am obsessed with it. I love everything about it. The stars, the planets, the science behind it. And it's just, don't want to be like, cheesy or anything, but out of this world, just saying.
You don't want to be cheesy.
That was so embarrassing. You've just put that out there for everyone to hear.
I know, yeah, like I don't want to, but I totally did want to. So yeah, space for me, I love it. And there is also this thing, I'm not sure if you guys have heard about it, it's called Storybots. And oh my God, they are incredible. They do these like cool songs and raps for kids, and they've got these cute animations, and their best ones for me are space. Maybe I'll do another episode on that, but yeah, for me, space, we'll do that every day of the week. Okay, next question. Your favorite thing about working in early years?
My favourite thing about working in early years is probably teaching the children the sort of hidden lessons in life. So, like, when you've got a child that comes up to you and they're really upset, teaching them like how to get through that, and then watching them go through the year and managing like their emotions, or like why other children's comments shouldn't matter and things like that. That's like my favourite thing, is like watching them like develop holistically.
That's really lovely, Alicia.
Yeah,
That's so
that's my
nice.
favourite thing.
Cute.
Mine is going to sound so bad after that. That was really nice, Alicia. Mine is just like the laughs. I just forgot how much fun it is working in early years, because I took a break for a bit and then came back to teaching. And honestly, in my current role, I think I have cried laughing more times than, like, the children are just so much fun. We just have the best time.
Oh,
And I know. It's cute, isn't it? And yeah, just love them. We just have such a good laugh every day, and it's just such a happy environment to work in. It's great.
cute.
For me, the concept of professional love, I think, is so what keeps me in early years, because even though we have the professional relationships with all the children that we work with, there is very much a professional love there for them, and I love to watch.
I love that term, Katie.
Yeah, big term. You just get to see them grow and develop, and sometimes they do things, and you can literally feel like your heart, like, it's super cheesy, but bursting.
Yeah.
Like working
Aww.
in a baby room, and watching them take their first steps or say their first words. Every time it's like,
Yeah, no,
they're my
I get
little
it.
child doing that, and I just don't think you can beat that. And obviously, with all the different developmental ages across the nursery, you see it all, and I just think we're really lucky.
Oh, and that's why you're such a fabulous practitioner, Katie.
Oh, Lauren, thank
You've
you.
got that love there.
Oh, thanks.
Mine's a little bit different, actually. Mine's a bit like along your lines, Claire. So I just love that you can I don't think there's any other job where you can just bang on a tune halfway through the day and start dancing around the classroom, and people don't look at you like you've gone crazy. They actually join in with you. So that's got to be like one of my favorite parts. There could just be like a little lull in the day, and you just put a tune on, and it just brightens the mood up. And
Aw.
just like you say, Claire, like the laughs that you can have, and the things that children just come out with, and the things that they say, and you could have planned meticulously a lesson, and the children just take it in a completely different direction, and it's usually 10 times better than what you've got planned anyway. So
That's nice.
Cute.
I like that.
For me, I think it's probably a mix of what everyone else has said. Every day is different. You walk into that classroom and you have no idea what is going to happen, no matter how much you plan. It's just so fun because, like you say, pop on a tune, a kid comes up with a really good idea, and you just run with it, and it's just different every single day. I also love, this is cheesy like now, I love watching them from the beginning of September to the end of whenever you have them, and just seeing how much they've grown in such a short space of time. And I'm so lucky that when I worked in the nursery, it was attached to a school. And I've been working 10 years. So quite recently, I saw my first nursery class graduate year 6 to go into secondary
Oh,
school.
that's so lovely.
it's when you get them adding you on Facebook,
Oh,
Claire,
don't.
Shana.
Yeah, I've had
You need
it.
to start
I've had
to worry.
it. Didn't accept.
Rejected. Sorry, pal.
No.
But yeah, I think watching them grow as the amazing people that they are, like every year 6 leavers assembly, I'm bawling my eyes out and I'm proud of it. Okay, last question for you all, and this is a really fun one. I did ask you to prepare this question's answer beforehand because I'm going to do something after it. So, what I asked you guys to do before was to tell me your favorite animal. And when we go through them, I'm going to tell you what that says about your personality.
Dun-dun.
Ooh.
Oh, that's exciting.
Oh, I feel like mine's not going to be accurate. But we'll see.
I should have picked a different animal.
All will be revealed. I'm very
cute.
excited. So, first of all, Alicia, can you tell our wonderful listeners what your favourite animal is?
My favourite animal is a dog.
Ooh.
I feel like you were more specific than
Yeah,
that.
well, I'm getting a new little puppy soon, everyone.
Oh!
I've got to tell the world. A little dachshund, but
Oh.
dog, puppy.
Oh, Alicia, I'm just going to have to quickly tell you this. So I've got a little girl. She's in EYFS, and when she grows up, she told me the other day, and she's told me repeatedly for days after, that she's going to be a sausage dog when she grows
Oh,
up.
stop. So am I. So am I. When I'm older.
You do you.
You go and achieve your dreams, Han.
I love that.
Okay, so because your favourite animal is a dog, this means that you are highly loyal and dedicated, who always tries to see the best in others.
God, Shana, don't flatter me.
However, no, hang
Oh.
on.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh,
However, yeah.
twist.
If someone ever tried to hurt someone you care about, you would defend them no matter what. You can be very brave and powerful when feeling threatened.
Yeah, that's me. Even if you're in the wrong, I'll just defend you anyway.
Oh.
I'm like, no, you're my mate.
There you go.
I would totally agree with the dedicated bit as well, because just from working with you, you are very dedicated. Like no job's too little or too big. Like you just crack on. So that's a good thing for sure.
God, we should do this more often.
Same time next week?
Yeah.
No. So, you also strongly believe in honesty and treating other people with respect. You are a very reliable and dependable person, and your friends and family know that they can count on you for anything.
Oh, that's so lovely.
That's so nice. I hope I'm like that.
For sure, totally.
Oh.
Right, next up is Claire. Can you tell us?
It's me. Well, I've said a koala.
Oh, that's a cute one.
It's cute, but it's very hard to find
Yeah.
a description for a koala. So thanks for making me work hard.
Yeah. Especially when I only tell you like 20 minutes before you.
It's okay, no harm done. We got this. Okay, so this means you are a kind, friendly, and caring human being. You go out of your way to be nice to others, and you always try to see the best in every situation.
Definitely.
You are a bright and optimistic person, and you don't like to blend in with the crowd. You are unique and creative. You are a motivated person who isn't afraid to chase your dreams and work hard for what you want. Yeah.
I would agree.
And you're definitely creative.
Who knew? Koalas were so multifaceted. I'm impressed.
You're not just cute and cuddly. You've got more.
Is there not a however in mine?
However,
Not for this one.
You are a very positive person as well, Claire, because like we can always rely on you for like a
Thanks.
smile, or if we're being a bit moody.
Yeah.
You're not.
Aw,
Yeah.
thanks, guys.
you're always happy.
I try.
And you work at Twinkl and a school, so you're
Right.
obviously hardworking.
For sure.
All right.
Katie, can you tell everyone your animal?
So my favourite animal is a lion.
I feel like we already have got some preconceptions about this, but let me tell you, you will be very happy about
Okay.
this. So, your favourite animal is a lion, and this means that you are a quiet, introverted, and independent person.
I get to say, I can't tell if she's taken the mic or not.
Yeah.
I promise you I'm not. I'm reading it.
I would like to think I'm independent, but I don't think anyone could accuse me of being quiet.
What?
Absolutely
That is not Katie.
Okay, guys, this is a good one. This is a good one. I promise you. It gets better. You like to get things done, and you aren't afraid to work hard to get what you want. You are a very mysterious and brave person, and you prefer to follow your own path in life. You also prefer to keep to yourself, and it can be hard for you to trust others, but you have a great imagination and sense of creativity. You are also very loyal and honest to the people you do care
I'll
about.
take it. I'll take that.
Definitely a hard worker and definitely gets the job done.
I think of a lion and I think like someone that's quite loud and like outspoken and like confident.
Right, and your imagination is amazing, because even when I spoke to
Oh,
you,
thanks.
an hour ago, you had some amazing ideas about how to get this podcast out to the people. So you got this.
Oh, thanks, guys. I did have some brain food today at some point, haven't I? I don't know what
I think you have. What did you have for your breakfast, Katie?
What did I have for my breakfast? Oh, an absolutely massive bowl of Cocoa Pops.
That'll
And then
do
I
it.
had some lasagna for lunch. Brain food.
Okay, Lauren, can you tell everyone what your favourite animal is?
So, quite randomly, my favourite animal is an otter. I just love seeing them at the wildlife park, and yeah, they're just the funniest, cutest little things that are just scurrying about and making little squeaky noises to their friends, and they're always like playing together. So yes, an otter.
Oh, now, before we go into what an otter means for you, Lauren, I feel like you need to confess something to our audience, because
Go on.
when we were talking in the chat, you did ask an unusual question about the otter. Do you want to tell everyone what you asked?
Well, I was thinking, because they kind of live under the water as well as on land. I kind of wondered whether they was an animal or I can't think of what the name is.
Or what, Lauren?
What? A fish?
Oh god.
I clearly didn't cover this in my reception class, did I? So I thought it was. Is it an amphibian?
It's like, it makes sense why you think that way, but just no.
I don't know. I was thinking, because they live on land and in water, I was wondering if it was classed as an animal. But you learn something new every day, don't you?
Sorry.
You're thinking of mammal
Yes!
instead of animal. And then if it lives in water, does it mean it's a mammal?
That's
No.
it.
But then you said
No,
animal.
it can't.
I try to piece it together.
I don't think they live underwater, guys. They build dams, don't they? So they don't live underwater. They just go to swim.
According to Lauren, anything that's not a mammal is not an animal, guys. This is an exclusive from Twinkl EYFS. Okay, so now that we've cleared up that an otter is actually an animal, thanks, Lauren. What it means for you is you are adorable.
Oh.
You like to look cute, you're very positive, and overall just a sweet, silly person. Clearly, you've just proved that. Everyone knows that you're always down to goof off, and you're pretty bad at taking things seriously. You love to show off and make others happy, and that's the kind of thing you live for.
Oh, I like that. I'm not quite sure I'm a show off though.
No, that's the one thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you're a show off, but I would say that, like, yeah, whenever we have like a meeting, and you guys can't necessarily see the air quotes that I'm putting meeting in right now, but you can always like rely on Lauren to like keep it fun and light. And if you're in a bad mood, like, I always find Lauren picks me up and she's super positive.
Oh, you guys. You're lovely.
Best manager.
But yeah,
Indeed are.
definitely down to goof off.
Great, now, I guess it's my turn. My favourite animal is a pig.
Oh.
No, guys, no, they're adorable.
I like pigs. I like those little micro pigs.
Yeah, they're cute.
But I think they're really cute and they're really intelligent, and I just have this dream of living on a farm off the grid and having all of the animals in the world, and I just think pigs are the best. So what that means for me, again, for you guys to judge, I'm not too sure about this one, but it says, I often feel that people underestimate or overlook me when really I have so much to offer. I'm kind of the underdog, which just means that it's much cooler when I prove everyone else wrong. Friendliness is a second nature to you, and there are very few people who have ever found a reason to dislike you.
Well, that's not true. No, joking. No,
You're definitely very friendly. You're super friendly.
I don't think people overlook you though.
I think they'd find it difficult.
All right.
Have a look
Excuse
here.
me. What was that?
You make yourself known, Shana.
Yeah, that's a nicer way of putting it.
I feel like you're a big part of the team.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, thanks, but that also sounds like I'm a bit of a show off. I'm going to tone it down. Now, I'd like to introduce you all to another member of the team that you might not have seen around. She's called Betsy, and she is Lauren's daughter.
Oh.
Lauren, can you tell us a bit about Betsy, please?
So Betsy is the third child in our house. She's the youngest by quite a way. She's 3.5 and she goes to preschool. She absolutely loves it, and I absolutely love it when she goes there too. And being the third child, she does have to be quite loud to make herself heard in our house. So she's quite outspoken, and she wanted to muscle in and get involved in this podcast.
I'm really grateful because, let's be honest, Betsy is the voice of the people, okay? So every episode, as much as we can, we're going to have a little segment dedicated to our Betsy called Betsy Bites. Disclaimer, that's bites with a Y, not an I. No children were harmed in the making of this episode. But we have, for this episode, asked Betsy the very same question, what her favourite animal is. Now, Betsy's been really clever here. She's given us some clues, okay? So I'm going to play you some clues. I'm going to see if you guys feel like you can guess what the animal is.
You've got to guess what she's saying first.
It is brown.
Oh, it's brown, guys.
Brown.
It is brown. It could be
Oh,
anything, this.
It's brown.
A bear?
Is it an otter like her mum?
Okay, we need another clue. Are you ready?
Ooh, ooh, ah,
Oh.
Oh,
I think I know what it is.
I think so too.
Definitely not an amphibian.
But why did she say it like a question? Ooh, ooh, ah, ah.
Okay, we've had enough clues. We've had enough guessing. Are you ready for the reveal?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yes.
it's an auntie.
It's a monkey!
It's a
Oh.
ookie.
Obviously. Oh, I just love her. So, Betsy, this is what your favourite animal monkey says about you. All right? It says, you are highly intelligent, a practical person who likes to know how things work. You never rush into anything and you like to plan things in advance. I mean, does any toddler do that? But anyway, you are an honest person and a realist. She does tell you how it is. That is true. You have a natural curiosity about the world and you always want to make the world a better place.
Oh, she's definitely got a natural curiosity about the world. She's always all over.
And she definitely makes the world a better place. She's literally just made this episode a better place. Love you. Thank you, Betsy. That was the end of Betsy Bites. Can't wait to hear more. Love her. Okay, for the last part of our episode, I thought we'd end on something fun, okay?
Ooh.
It's a game we've all played, but it's the teacher version. It's going to be Would You Rather Teacher Edition. So, I'm going to give you 3 different Would You Rathers, just quick fire, what you would prefer. Here we go. Round 1 of Would You Rather Teacher Edition. Would you rather tea or coffee?
I just stick with the same cup of tea, but I had a cup of coffee once, right? I only had a sip of it once, and I had this sip and I went, oh my God, that's the worst cup of tea I've ever tasted.
That's a teacher thing
And then
to say.
I've never gone back.
Probably tea.
Defo coffee.
You're the only one, Lauren. Sorry. I'm a tea girl all the way.
I thought there's more variety with tea. Like coffee's good, like an iced coffee's really nice, but then like I like all my like little herbal teas and my little fruit teas and all that. And it's like
You guys, I'm surprised.
Are you?
Yeah.
Mate, I've probably had about 5 pints of tea today. It is. I am buzzing.
See, I love tea, but especially the nursery nurses that I've worked with will know I'll make a cup of tea and then never drink it because, you know, there's 40 odd kids. Like, I
You
can't.
never have time.
There's no time, guys. And then by the time I'm like, oh my God, my tea is cold.
I always say it's too hot, it's too hot, it's too hot, and there's like a 3-minute or 3-second gap between it being scalding hot and too cold to drink.
Okay, great. Round 2 of Would You Rather Teacher Edition. Would you rather tie wet shoelaces or wipe a runny nose?
Ooh.
I would like to clarify, what are the shoelaces wet with? Because
Guys.
not all the children can get to the toilet.
See, the thing is about early years is when you do get wet shoelaces, you never know. You never know. So I'm going to leave that open.
You're a wrong gun.
Is it a puddle? Is it wee? Who knows?
Yeah, I would definitely go for the runny nose because no, you don't know where those shoelaces have been. Could be wee, could be no, not going there. Nope.
I'm gonna say shoelaces.
I'm gonna say nose because you can get the tissue and get it off, and you don't touch it, but you are all over those shoelaces, aren't you?
Sure, you don't have to touch it.
Mhm. And then slather yourself in antibac. So yeah, I'm going to go for nose as well. Which gross person said the shoelace?
Me.
Oh, Alicia.
Just easy, innit? Done. You can't work in early years if you're worried about either of them, to be honest.
That is a good point, and that also leads rather nicely onto my last round of Would You Rather. Would you rather clean up poop or clean up vomit?
There's no hesitation. I would rather clean up poo. Why is anyone thinking about this?
My first instinct was poo.
It depends. Like, this is gross, but what kind of poo?
And what kind of vomit? Is there bits in there, or is it
Oh,
more of like a
stop!
phlegmy one?
I feel like poo. I feel like if it's vomit, I would also vomit. And then there'd be even more vomit to clean up.
Think projectile vomit. There's a wider area that you're potentially going to be cleaning. Poo, it's limited.
Oh, I just don't know. Like, honestly, I'll say it again. Depends what kind of poo.
I've walked into a classroom and there's just been a poo on the floor, and like you're like, where is this poo come from? I feel like that's just a daily thing that we have to do in early years. Like poo, vomit, there's going to be something, so we got to be prepared.
Well,
you know?
I've got to say, I've got a bit of a vomit phobia. It literally, the thought of touching vomit makes me feel like I'd be like sick all over the top, and then there'd be twice as much to clean up. And obviously, working in early years, you'd never say this about any other job. I've got quite an experience of picking up poo. We went through a phase where a child would poo in the urinal every single day.
That's brilliant.
And the caretaker obviously went home in between. So,
Can I ask, Lauren, did you ever find out who it was that pooed in the urinal? Could it have been the caretaker?
Could it have been the caretaker?
Did we rule him out?
No. And on next week's episode, we will reveal. Okay, well, we've had so much fun tonight. Guys, thank you so much for coming on to our first ever podcast. Our first episode is done.
Yay!
Yeah, really good job. It's been so good to get to know you, and I guess we'll see you for the next episode. Should we say goodbye?
Bye.
bye.
everybody.
Farewell.
So there you have it. You have met the marketing team of EYFS Twinkl, and I'm sure you'll agree, we're a mad bunch, but I think it helps to be like that in early years. So even though I'm going to be the host for every episode, the rest of the team are going to be popping in here and there to share some little tidbits and feature. We're also going to have some guest speakers coming on some episodes, and we'll have topics that you can join in on too. I know we've said a lot about us being on social media, but if you're not already, go and make sure that you're following us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, things like that, because we're going to be asking questions. We're going to be putting polls out in the groups for you to answer so that you can join in with every podcast too. We're also going to have a little segment about celebrating our colleagues. So if you want to do a shout out to your colleagues, go over to the social media groups to check out where you can do a shout out. So now it's the end of the episode. I can give you the emojis for the giveaway. So the two emojis that you need to put on our social media platforms are the heart emoji and the sunshine emoji. Go over to our social media sites as soon as you can, pop them in on the platforms, and I wish you the best of luck for our giveaway. So that's it from today's episode. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you really enjoyed it. If you'd like to get involved or would like to know more, go and follow us on our social media sites. We've got a Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest account. All of the links will be in our description. And whatever you're doing, I hope you have a great day today.